This is Steve Ridgel, and in my last video, I talked about the prayer that will change your church. Today, I want to talk about, the prayer that will change you. And it's really out of Colossians 4, verses 3 and 4, and Paul writes this about praying. He tells them to continue steadfastly in prayer, and then he says this, at the same time, pray also for us, that God may open to us a door for the word, to declare the mystery of Christ, on account of which I am in prison, that I may make it clear, which is how I ought to speak. I love that prayer. If you want to change you in prayer, ask people to start praying for you. And if you want to change them, you start praying for them. Now, the prayer we talked about last time will change your whole church. But this is the prayer that will change every Christian in your church. Learn to pray for each other, and I mean pray specifically for those you're trying to reach for the kingdom. So here's the kind of things out of that prayer you pray for each other. Number one, you pray for each other to have courage. You start targeting people and say, hey, would you pray for me this week that I'll have the courage to speak about Jesus? You tell people, I'm going to pray for you this week that you'll have the courage to speak about. Start getting the habit of telling your church, ask people to pray for those you want to come to Jesus. I got a text really early this morning from the youth minister at our church about one of our young people, and his parents had just recently become, his mom's just recently become a Christian, and she specifically had us start praying for her son that he might be interested in Jesus, and he asked our youth minister if they could talk about following Jesus. That's the kind of thing that happens. So if you have a coworker, a teammate, a classmate, a neighbor, a friend, a family member that you want to come to Jesus, ask people to start praying for them. One of the neat things our staff at church does, we regularly pray for each other's kids. So especially for people you're trying to reach, you ask people to pray for them. You ask people to pray for you that you'll have an open door to talk to them. You pray that when you get that open door, you'll be able to speak boldly and with courage. So often we pray prayers like this. We pray for God to open a door in someone's heart. We pray for someone to be interested in Jesus. Now, they're not always specific. Sometimes it's not Bill, Sue, Fred, my granddaughter, my aunt. Sometimes it's more like this. Father, there are people at work that need to know you. Help open doors there for me. And so we do a lot of that. And then we pray for the courage to recognize those open doors. God, help us know when to say something. Help us know what to say. Help us be bold to say it, not back off of it. Help us to say, I think Jesus can help you. Would you like to talk about Jesus? Could I share my story? Tell me about you and Jesus. Those kind of things. And then to have the courage to speak when it happens. So I'm telling you, if you will start praying that prayer all over your church, if you're all praying for each other, and if you're all praying for open doors, and if you're praying by name for lost people, and you're praying to speak boldly, and you're praying to have the courage to do it, if you start doing that, God's going to answer that prayer, and you're going to have a lot of people to talk to about Jesus. I know because, it's happening here. This is Steve Ridgel praying that God will open doors and give you boldness.